Hello, fellow comic book lovers, collectors, and aficionados. Vin Crew here with his most current BICH, his back issue comic haul. Yeah, got a lot of books as usual. I got to do a better job. I'd like to try to get videos out probably twice a month instead of once a month. I think pretty close I am to being able to do that. Just wrapping up a few little things, but regardless, let's get going to what everybody's here for, is to see some books here. So first one here, this is Bloodshot 51. This I actually got through a trade with Master X Splinter. He had shown a couple of these books, and I reached out to him. I've always liked this cover. I'm not the biggest Valiant fan, but something about this cover always strikes me. So I reached out, and we ended up doing a trade. So thank you very, very much, Master X. I really appreciate that. I am sure everybody knows who Master X Splinter is. So thank you very much. Let's do this. I haven't done the obligatory hot book, movie, TV show, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, there's a couple here that I pulled. First one here is Clive Barker's Nightbreed. This apparently has been greenlit for a television series on the Sci-Fi channel. Sci-Fi, you know, as Topher pointed out from CBSI, is getting some good programming going there. I think they're doing Black Science, Dark Engine, this one, a few other ones. So who knows? No promises on anything. But this is the first appearance of Nightbreed. When you're looking for it, you might either look under Clive Barker's or Nightbreed. I wouldn't pay more than $1 or $2 for this book personally. This is probably, arguably, the hottest book right now. Is Amazing Spider-Man Volume 3, Number 4. First full appearance of Silk, who is Cindy Moon, who she appears in Amazing Spider-Man number 1, Volume 3. But this is the regular cover, and this is the 1 in 10 Alberto Ramos cover variant. And this is the hottest ones of them all that I can gather. So Roz, I think, are selling for about 150 on this. I don't know, that's craziness. Then we have Amazing Spider-Man. This is the J. Scott Campbell Reverse Negative. He did a set. Go figure, J. Scott Campbell doing a set for a book. But this was, I believe, the lowest printed of the 3 of them. So I don't know. But this is not Silk on the cover. This is Black Cat, who they profess to be the main antagonist of Silk, or one of the main antagonists. So who knows? If you watch Supergirl on the CW, I'm not going to give any spoiler alerts, but apparently seasons, is that 3 or 4? I can't remember now. We'll focus on this incredible Elseworlds trilogy. Superman Red Son, here is issue number 1, number 2, number 3. And if you're not, regardless if you're a speculating fan or a comic fan, this should be a read you should be doing nonetheless. This is one of the best stories, in my opinion, done recently. All right, I believe it's Jessica Jones. The next antagonist is going to be the Power Broker. And this is the first appearance of, in cameo form, is Curtis Jackson, who becomes the Power Broker. This is his cameo in Machine Man number 7. The first full and named appearance of Curtis Jackson is in Machine Man number 8. And then the Power Broker, which becomes like a company that empowers people with super abilities, and they do wrestlers and whatnot. First mention of it is in The Thing number 33, and then the first full time that you see a Power Brokered human come is right here in The Thing number 35. Last one, this is Body Bags. This has been optioned for a movie, I believe, and Dave Bautista, the wrestler and Drax is going to be playing the main role in this. This is not the first appearance of Body Bags. That was in a preview of Dark Horse, but this is the first appearance and the first cover appearance of Panda, who is this girl right here, who is just arguably as important as that guy right there. I forget his name, but this is Body Bags number 1 of 4, the Blanc Noir Dark Horse series. I believe this came out in '96, I believe. So yeah, so some books that you might want to look out for. All right. This is Alien Nation number 1. The reason I'm showing this is it's out of Adventure Comics, is that this is one of the first. This came out in December of '91. And this has a preview in it for this particular magazine book right here, Evil Ernie number 1 from Eternity Comics. In the back it does. There is a Fangora magazine, I believe it's 105, that comes out a month earlier than this, but you know, there's enough people out there that hate magazine. I love magazines. I personally have no discrepancy between a magazine and a comic size. It's just, I don't know. I'm not going to get down that rabbit hole. But regardless, so this technically could be the first comic appearance of Evil Ernie. And then there, like I said, there's the first appearance of Evil Ernie, full first appearance, and Lady Death. All right, finally found in America's Best Comics preview for in the Wizard magazine. This first appearance of Promethea, Tom Strong, all of that. So pretty cool. Actually found 2 copies of this, so one is going to be in pile coming up shortly. This is Astonishing Spider-Man and Wolverine number 5. This is the first appearance of the Wolverine-X, kind of a mashup between Wolverine and the Phoenix. I don't know. Who knows? It might catch on. I don't know. All right. And then when I was looking for that one, I found this. This is the variant to number 1. I like shiny things. You know, I'm a kid of the 90s, so I don't know. This was only a couple of bucks, so I snatched it. All right. This one, kind of a nod out to Comic Book Estate. Ron, I know he loves his Black Widow. So when I saw this, and boy, she's a striking young lady. This this is the photo cover to Avengers Prelude. And then I found Aquaman number 6. A little bit of heat coming back onto this book. It was hot for a while there. There's a variant to this that's a sketch variant. I'm not going to chase that down, but this is the first appearance of the Others, who some people want to believe are going to be in eventually an Aquaman movie. Apparently, I don't know. It's completely up to you, but some people are starting to pick this book up again on some G+ sites. Up to you, but this is Aquaman number 6 out of the New 52. Avengers number 9 out of the most current series. This is the first appearance of the newest Wasp, and is it Cassandra, Cassie Lang, maybe? I can't remember, but the newest Wasp is this particular version right here, and this is her first appearance. Beautiful cover too. And then I finally found an Avengers 6. So now for my Avengers, I own everything from 5 until it ends through volume. I have volume 2 and 3 complete. I'm missing like 4 issues out of volume 4. Not really too worried about that one. But yeah, so I need issues 1, 2, 3, and 4 to finish Avengers Volume 1. 1 and 4 are a pipe dream. 2 and 3, I think, are possible for me. So I'm going to be kind of zeroing in on those, hopefully. But yeah, and this is the first appearance of the Masters of Evil. Another hot book, this should have been in the hot book alert, I guess, this is Cyberfrog by Ethan Van Sciver. Loved Ethan Van Sciver back in when he did the Green Lantern number 9 variant. And this is the Harris Comics. Now, there is the Hall of Heroes, which predates this Harris Comics. Hall of Heroes was a short-lived publication company. I think it was started in 93 and went through 99, if I'm not mistaken. They put out Salmonide, Cyberfrog, Creed, a few other ones, and then all of those seem to branch off into other publications. Like this one was picked up by Harris Comics. So if you can find the Hall of Heroes version, that is a book that's on fire right now. But this book here is screaming hot. This is Cyberfrog 1, 2, and 3. I believe there's 4 issues to this first series. Now, the only reason that this book is seeming to get hot is because there was a Kickstarter that Ethan put out, and it generated a ton of money and just matriculated down to people wanting to find a Cyberfrog, which was his first creation. All right, so collecting DC Millenniums, and this is the More Fun Comics, 73. I believe this is the first appearance of Aquaman and Green Arrow. So now, excuse me, sorry about that. Now I only need, I believe, 3 of these DC Millenniums out of the 62 to complete that set. Picked up a Deadpool 1000. This is out of Series 3, I believe, Volume 3? 4, Volume, I can't remember. It's so hard to tell. All right. Love this book right here, Batman Detective Comics 484. The only reason I bought this book is, well, because it's part of a run that I'm completing, but I love this Rogues Gallery on the back here. That is just awesome. Beautiful Rogues Gallery pin up in the back of the cover here. So, but 484. So, working on my detective run. And now this book here, funny book. This was a book I have been wanting for probably 3 years, maybe. Yeah, I think it's been 3 years. Not many people know about this book or show this book, and maybe they just don't care. But this is the first appearance of Cherry Pop-Tart, or Cherry Blossom, who later goes on to headline her own comic series. This came out in 71, I believe. Yeah, 1971. Most people, if you just go onto eBay, if you can find a copy, the buy it nows are all $100, $150 raw. I'm not paying that much. You never see this book hardly in the wild. For some reason, I put it on my watch list of eBay, and some guy posted this for 30 bucks or best offer. So I quickly shot him a $25 offer. He counted me at 26 plus like $4 shipping or something like that. I snatched this up so fast so you couldn't believe it. So extremely happy. I think the only other person I've seen show this is maybe Dead Clone and another other person. I can't think of any. But yeah, this is, if for underground magazines, this is one you really would like to put on your radar. So funny book number 1 from 1971, first appearance of Cherry Pop-Tarts. All right. Finally found the, I think this is the second copy, the second print of the Legion of Superheroes. This is the sketch cover of Saturn Girl by Jim Lee. I have the regular cover and I have the color version of this. I obviously prefer the color version, but I've always wanted this sketch and was happy enough to find it. So this is just a beautiful, beautiful Jim Lee cover. Found this here. This is Mystery in Space number 61. This is kind of an interesting book. It's called the villain in this book is called the Tornado Tyrant, who later becomes the Red Tornado. He gets through a couple of incarnations, later becomes this. So this is like the prototype of the Red Tornado. So I personally have always loved the Red Tornado. Just hated what they did with him in the Supergirl series, but I loved him in Young Justice, and I've always liked him as in the comics. So was really happy when I found out about this and was able to pick this up. It's not an expensive book, but like I said, Mystery in Space number 61 is the first prototype of what would later become the Red Tornado of the Justice League. Oof, found this book finally. This should have been on my 2018 want list, but for as much money as most people ask for this book, I just wasn't prepared to spend the amount of money on it. But I finally found, this is arguably one of the hardest books of the Marvel Bronze Age to find. Night Nurse #1. I think most people know what this is. Most people, if you look on eBay, if you can find them raw, they're $150 to $200. Raw, $200 to on up, or excuse me, graded $200 on up. I wasn't paying anywhere near that, so when I was able to purchase this book, and this is in pretty decent condition, I just jumped at it. So very, very happy to have a Night Nurse. Now I have 1, 3, and 4, and I just need number 2 to finish that 4-issue miniseries. I'm a sucker for certain cover swipes, and the cover of Hulk 340 is one of those. So when I saw this Powerless #5 cover swipe to Hulk 340, jumped all over it. This is not an expensive book. It's $1 or $2 fodder. All right. Shown this book before a couple years ago. This is Megaton Explosion. Now, people believe this to be, and I did for the longest time, the first appearance of this particular comic here, which is Youngblood. And, you know, some people think Malibu Sun is their first appearance. It isn't. And it isn't this one here, but this was a giveaway that they gave out at a convention. And this was a Liefeld thing. Which has the first advertisement for Youngblood, who he would later introduce in the Image series. But what I ended up finding on a CBSI posting was this book right here, Ram, which predates Megaton Explosion. And it has an advertisement for Megaton Explosion as well as advertisement for the Team Youngblood. The 2 separate pages in this book here. So if you're a Youngblood fan or a Liefeld fan, and you want the first appearance of Youngblood, Team Youngblood, look for Ram #1 from Megaton Comics. So I'm very happy to have that. All right, finally found a copy of Secret World Battle Worlds #3. Is this what the first Weapon H or prototype or some stupid thing like that? I don't know. I'm not even a big Weapon H guy. You know, I don't own a copy of that totally awesome Hulk 22. I don't own Teen Titans 12, first appearance of the Batman Who Laughs. I'll eventually get those. I'm just not gonna pay the prices they want. What did I pay for this? $1.75. So yeah, happy about that. This is the first. This is Star Wars Tales of the Jedi, Dark Lords of the Sith. This is the Ash Can, and this is the first appearance of Exar Kun, I believe is how you pronounce it. So not an expensive book, but happy to find it. I found this on a True First from CBSI. This is boy, these things just keep coming out of keep crawling out of the woodwork here from me here. But this is Strange Sports Stories #1 by Adventure Comics. If you recall, Rust 1 had a huge attention there for the longest time because it had a back page appearance of Spawn, but a lot of these other adventure comics did also, but they weren't on the back cover. They were inside the book, and I thought I had all of them. You know, there was a Planet of the Apes one, boy, a couple, 3, 4 other ones that are just escaping me right now, and I own all of those. But this one I found out was one that had it in it too. This is Strange, like I said, Strange Sports Stories #1. Make sure it has these cards, and these are attached on the outside for some reason. This might have been polybagged at one point, but regardless. So now I hope I have all of the Adventure Comics Spawn #1 Spawn advertisement things. This book here, this book, arguably, okay, to me, this is my opinion, but the greatest modern day storyteller by none is Alan Moore. I mean, when you think of the body of work this guy has done, from Killing Joke to V for Vendetta to the Superman stuff that he did, Miracle Man, on and on and on, Swamp Thing. Oh my God. There is, as far as I'm concerned, there's nobody that is, and that includes Frank Miller and Brian K. Vaughan and Danny Coates and all these other people. This is the true guru of modern day storytelling. And this guy is very set in his ways, and this guy will not sign books. He will, and in fact, he refuses to sign any copies of The Killing Joke. And in rarecomics.com, they actually did a write-up on how hard it is to get a signature of Alan Moore. So when this presented itself, I jumped all over it. This is Alan Moore Supreme. This is, I believe, American Entertainment or Wizard. I don't know how many of them that were done, but this was signed by Alan Moore with a letter certificate of authenticity. So in most people, if you look on eBay, they want 100 to about 150 for this book raw. Not paying that kind of money for this book, but if you're patient and you wait for auctions, you can usually get this for about 40 to 50 bucks, somewhere around there. So yeah, if you're an Alan Moore fan, I would strongly suggest trying to look for this. So, all right, Bernie Wrightson cover to Swamp Thing 9. Just absolutely love this cover. So when it presented itself, I grabbed it at a reasonable price. All right. Found a couple more of the Alex Gardner Wonder Woman 1 in 10 variants. This is the 610 and 611. So I'm trying to slowly get all of that Alex Gardner things. All right, found these. This is a stack of, you know, I always have my little favorite artist or hot artist section. This first part is J. Scott Campbell. Here's Danger Girl 4, Danger Girl 2. I believe this is a double. I'm not sure yet. Danger Girl 5, Danger Girl Revolver number 3, Onslaught Reborn number 4 variant, J. Scott Campbell. All these are J. Scott Campbell's. This is the True Blood number 1 sketch variant, and then there's the color version of it, J. Scott Campbell. G.I. Joe number 4, number 3, and that's it for J. Scott Campbell. Here's Aphrodite IX, or 9, I think that might be 9 or 11, I don't know. 0, just a beautiful David Finch cover. Dave Stevens, seem to be always picking up some Dave Stevens stuff these days. This is The Shadow and Doc Savage. I believe Koi Cakes was the one who brought these books to my attention. This is number 2 and number 1, both Dave Stevens covers. This, I can't remember, John Neville maybe from Instagram brought this one to my attention. This is the back cover to Eclipse Comics number DNA Agents, no, Crossfire number 20. But this has got the pinup of DNA Agents 24 on the back of it. So if you're a Dave Stevens fan, you might want to look for that one. Airboy number 5. This is a double, but Dave Stevens cover. This, I believe, is Adam Hughes by Dave Stevens, done by Adam Hughes cover, I believe, to DV8 number 1. This is also a double. And then speaking of doubles, Deathstroke number 55, first appearance of Section 8. Just found that book at the con. All right. This is another double. This is Quasar number 30. Apparently, this is the first Venomized character on a cover. Wouldn't Eddie Brock be the first Venomized character? I don't know, but there he is right there. Apparently, that's Beta Ray maybe, or Thor. Found another copy of Uncanny X-Men 509. Beautiful Psylocke cover. Magic, the X-Men Return of Magic. Beautiful Magic cover. This reprints a few Magic stories. Once again, double. G.I. Joe 12. This is the one of the previews to Invincible. New Mutants number 14. First appearance of Magic. Infinity New Avengers number 10, first appearance of Thane. He-Man Masters of the Universe 18. This book is scorching hot right now. This is the first time She-Ra is named She-Ra in the comics, and just a beautiful cover. But this is a $40 book right now on eBay, so yeah, happy about that. This is a double also. Green Arrow 101, Death of Oliver Queen. Malibu Sun number 15. This is the first appearance of Wildcats. Tough book to find. A lot of these Malibu Suns, boy, are tough to find. And this is easily a $10 to $20 book on eBay. America's Best Comics, I just talked about this. This is the second copy, so it's a double. Found another copy of the first Illuminati, New Avengers number 7. Thor Annual 11, first appearance of Eitri, I believe is how you pronounce it, the elf that made Stormbreaker. Hulk number 16, this is the first appearance of Red She-Hulk. Found a couple copies of those. Found a couple of copies of Green Arrow 0 for Simon Bass. And another copy of Batman Dark Knight number 3. Gorgeous David Finch. First White Rabbit. So these will all go in the doubles box. And then lastly, just want to finish off with some magazines I picked up. All right, found Bizarre Adventures number 28. This is actually a double, but this is the 4th appearance of Elektra, and it is a Neil Adams cover, so pretty cool. Found, love these UK magazines. Always hard to find them. They're usually pretty ratty. These aren't in the best condition, but I think I paid like $1 to $2 for them. So, but this is Captain Britain volume 2, I believe, number 3, and Captain Britain number 8 out of the UK. And then I found this Rampage magazine number 29. This has stories of the X-Men, Luke Cage, Power Man, Thing and Tigra in here. So yeah, I love these UK magazines, just love them. Found Star Wars, or excuse me, Marvel Super Special number 27, Return of the Jedi. Then I found this Wizard J. Scott Campbell cover to Wizard. I don't even know what number this is, sorry. But it's Wizard something. But this has got the AOL card in it, the poster, all of that. So beautiful J. Scott Campbell cover on that. And that should do it. So that is my bitch, my current bitch. So this is Vin Cruz saying thank you so very much for taking this journey as always. And signing off.